So I want to talk about how these two women are just cogs in a machine of the gamification of Anna culture, Anarchexia culture. They are not the beginning, nor will they be the end. Unfortunately, I do feel like we are watching two people wither away in front of us, two very talented people wither away in front of us. Now, at the base of all, personally, I believe, at the base of all eating disorders is white supremacy and white supremacist beauty standards, especially as it comes to anti-Black ideals of thinness. But when it comes to the gamification of a lack of eating, of thinness. And when I say the gamification, I mean more specifically for entertainment, for public consumption, for the way that we tune in to watch what is going to happen next. This started long before them. And I'm currently watching I'm on a documentary kick. I'm always on a documentary kick, if I'm being honest. And I am currently watching the documentary on Netflix about The Biggest Loser. And I just came across, I'm on the last, it's 3 episodes. I'm on the last episode right now. The entire thing is a fascinating conversation about the capitalist view of self-hatred, the creation of insecurities, the monopolizing, not the monopolizing, the creation of ways to capitalize off of the manufactured insecurities, and then creating a version of a monopoly for how you can create money, income off of this need, off of this insecurity that has been manufactured, and then gamifying all of it, putting it in front of millions of people, billions of people internationally, to say, for the sake of a brand, for the sake of a continued movement, when actually people are getting injured in the process. And who's getting injured in the process? Marginalized people every time. More specifically, Black women and disabled women. And within this, all of the people that, not within this, one second, within this, the first people to really feel the brunt of it, mind you, this is an entire show based on the exploitation of marginalized people. Fat people are marginalized people in a white supremacist society that is based off of white supremacist beauty standards. And within that, there are hyper marginalizations, disabled women and Black women. I'm going to dive into more of that. Buckle in for my TED Talk. Also, hi, for those of you who are new here, my name is Shayna. I'm a journalist, and on this platform, I talk a lot about decentering men and child-free living. If any of that sounds like a vibe, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you are interested in relocating to somewhere else in the world for whatever reason that I may or may not be able to say on here, check out Black Babes Abroad. We have a lot of resources over there. We have over 1,500 marginalized babes that are getting the information that they need. Head over there, get what you need, please. There's also a free moving abroad checklist in the description. We've been recommended by Essence. We've been in Investopedia. Like, get your resources. Now, it's hard for me to talk about the gamification of weight loss and of fat phobia. I guess the reality TVification. I don't know another word for it other than gamification of fat phobia and the pushing out of pro-Anna culture. It's very easy to see this Venn diagram of these things as they overlap with the concept of the Hunger Games series as one giant circle. The Hunger Games were a collection of marginalized people with little to no representation in government, but also within a system that is in active collapse, gets put onto a TV show for the consumption of the bourgeoisie, for the consumption of the 1%, so that way they can feel better about themselves and the history that they don't want to admit is actually happening. They put these marginalized people in situations where they are actively in danger, manufactured danger, and for the sake of their own survival, pitting them against each other. And these marginalized groups have extra marginalizations. And within those extra marginalizations, that shows up as extra layers of problems for them within that group. But those problems for the viewing class It's not problems. It's extra layers of entertainment. So when you have a child who has a disability, they're within the group, they're like, oh, okay, well, who are we going to team up with? Who are you going to team up with? Are we going to have to kill you first? Are we going to have to, like, what are we going to do with you? Oh, yikes. Okay. Well, there's a black person over there. How big and strong are they? But also, do we really want them on our team? Meanwhile, you have this show over here, the first person on the very first season to have to get helivaced out of the very first the challenge that they have. She didn't realize that she had a pre-existing condition, and she died. She died. Thank goodness she came back, but she died. The reason why she went on the show, according to her anyway, was because she was in an abusive relationship. Her husband was cheating on her. It sounded like he was being more than just not that emotional and psychological abuse is not valid. Obviously, it's incredibly valid. She was also alluding that there were other kinds of abuses that were going on within her marriage. And she was like, maybe if I just lost weight, then he would love me, then he would treat me better, then I could save my marriage, all of that. She goes into this show being like a disabled lady and a white lady. So keep all of this in mind. Goes onto the show, and she basically, like, she said, I saw the light. She thought she was unresponsive, and she saw the light. There's also another lady who's a black woman who came on with her friend, and the show pitted these two black women against each other. They also had one of the guys who was one of the trainers for the show, who was a gay white man, berate her, verbally abuse her in real time on television. People are some are slack-jawed, some are laughing. Whether that's nervous laughter or not, I do not care. Nobody came to her defense, period. As she has mentioned on here, that she disassociated in order to protect her mind from from all that she was experiencing in real time. Both of these women were made to be the villains once they got out of this TV show, and nobody came to their rescue. Not just nobody came to their rescue, but also somebody else in this docuseries mentioned that there should have been funds set aside for people who needed extra support. The amount of medical injuries that people had leaving here, the amount of eating disorders that people had leaving this series, and this was a multi-million-dollar, Biggest Loser, multi-million-dollar international corporation. There was no money set aside for any of these people once they were done. And the producer gives like a creepy smile, being like, well, like NBC couldn't have saved that money. It's like, nor were we expecting them to. The challenges just keep getting crazier. More and more people keep getting hurt. There's more and more scandals that are coming out. And at some point, one of the winners of who knows what season comes out, and everybody is gobsmacked. Why? Because everybody is realizing, oh no, she's too thin. She looked emaciated. She looked unwell, because she was unwell. And then people started coming in and tweeting things like this. I think it's kind of sad how young girls and teens are watching this as an example. NBC should probably know better. Guess what? This was the intent. That lady who walked out looking like this, they did it. They did the thing that these systems, that these people, that these corporations, this is the desired result. They said on the show in the very first episode that when they realized that they had a good thing as in a profitable thing going on the show, when they realized that their audience was not people who were fat and happy, but people that were fat and hated themselves. They said that if we could tap into that market, then we will be millionaires. When I say that loving yourself is one of the most radical, revolutionary things that you can do, I love watching documentaries because it gives a bird's eye view on a singular topic that is so pertinent to so much of the human experience. This show, I strongly recommend watching it. In general, strongly recommend watching it. Because what is happening in this show, we are seeing play out right now in real time. The fear of being not the fear of being in a larger body is going to unalive so many people. so many people, is unaliving so many people. Those are my thoughts for right now. Please share yours in the comment section. And for the love of God, stay safe out there.